Hey everybody, it's Max J. Miller, co-author with Robert Hollis of the upcoming How Is That Working? And today I want to share with you just a little bit about story. Several people have asked me questions about story that makes me think I really should define what I mean by story. I mean something very specific. You know, when I'm referring to novels and movies and then referring to how somebody tells their story about a product, I'm really talking about the same thing. But there is something that could be distinguished from story, which I would just call a tale. So a tale would be how you might explain your family or share your family vacation with somebody. You know, we went to Colorado, we went skiing, we saw this, you know, Jerry broke her leg, these things happened. You know, this is just the tale of. It's just a series of events that are strung together, and there's really no meaning of it, no specific meaning. A story is distinct from that in that it is absolutely meaningful. A story has a point of view. So any novel that you've loved, by the way, some novels, some movies are tales. You know, the famous line from Shakespeare is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury. Life is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury. Well, in other words, Shakespeare is really saying it's meaningless there. But a story takes a point of view that there is meaning and lays it out in and very often a not very linear manner. But specifically, it's telling us what's important in life or in a particular situation or in relationships or in, you know, work or in finding happiness in life. A story has a mind, a point of view about life. And so you think about your favorite stories. A good example I like to use is The Wizard of Oz, you know. The Wizard of Oz, she goes away, she gets swept away in a tornado to this magical place. Is she dreaming? Who knows? But, you know, it was, you know, this technicolor world, and she has these adventures, but all the while she's growing this yearning to return home. She looks in the witch's crystal ball and sees her Auntie Em and longs to be back with her. And then finally, when Glenda the Good Witch says, "You've always been able to go home. All you have to do is close your eyes and click your heels together and say, 'There's no place like home. There's no place like home.'" So she does that, and next thing you know, she's waking up in her bed, and the family and the friends are all around her, and saying, "Oh, you know, we were worried about you." And she said, "Oh, I went to this wonderful place, and you were there, and you were there." And her presence is changed, because before she just wanted to get away from her family, and now she's really happy to be with her country bumpkin family. Well, you know, what that story is telling us in the phrase "there's no place like home" is that, you know, family, friends, these are what's important in life. So, you know, think of Casablanca. Casablanca is one of the famous great films in life, and what does it finally tell us? Rick, you know, this it could be seen as a whole tale of events, but in the end, it's really about loyalty. It's really, you know, this character is finally deciding that he has to take sides. He can't remain neutral. That it's just not ultimately satisfying to try to be this middle ground. And it's interesting that Casablanca means White House, and his place, his bar, he tried to keep neutral because it was going on during the Second World War, and he tried to keep it, you know, let's not take sides and everything. But ultimately, he decided he had to take sides. And so that story has that point of view. The Velveteen Rabbit is one of my favorite childhood stories, and it asks this question, what is real? And it ends basically telling us that love is real. The fondness and affection that we have for one another, that's what's real in life. And therefore what matters. So some stories are not so obvious how they're getting this across to us. And it's very interesting that there's a lot of stories that we just accept and they're repeated over and over again. And advertisers are keen to this because they know that there are certain stories that if they tap into them, they can bring their product into the middle of that, and somehow we'll link that up because we'll say this person knows this story that we care about, and oh, this product must have a part of it. And so they play on us a little bit because they know these stories that resonate with us. You know, think of the cigarette commercials. What are they always telling us? They're always telling us that if you want to be a rugged individual, if you want to be your own person, light up. And so this is how they draw us into these products. So they do not work on a rational level. They work on quite an irrational level. Commercials are, that is, because they're tapping into these stories that are very, very dear to us. And here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. What's the most important thing that anyone could know and understand about story? And that is, they're not true. Stories have a point of view, and the point of view is just a point of view. In other words, it's an opinion. It's one way of looking at things. Now, for a lot of us, it's hard to accept because some stories are very, very dear to us, but they are a point of view. I was watching the debates last night, and I thought, you know, these two guys live inside a particular view of the world and of economy and economics and so forth. And they cannot see the other person's point of view because they live inside it like that's the truth, that is real. And so they're trapped inside of it. There's no chance of getting over the bridge to the other because they're completely in this bubble of this story. So the most important thing that you can understand about story is that it's not bad, it's not good, it's just not factual. It's a point of view, it's a way of looking at something. This will come in very, very handy when you want to think about how it is that you're telling your story to attract your audience. If you understand that it's made up, it's not the truth, you have a lot more freedom with analyzing and evaluating and understanding how your story sets up and says, this is more important than this. And the series of events of your story that you tell will back that up. It's an argument, but it's not ultimately conclusive. It's just a point of view. So that'll come very, very much in handy, and I want to share more with you about that in the coming days. Thanks for tuning in. Keep telling your story. Bye-bye for now.